Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City media podcast. Stepping up to the microphone are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Now, let's get to the show.
What up? Episode
The biggest,
129.
the largest.
It's your boy T Lizzle, T Jazel, and T Kenneth.
Oh, nice. I like that. We'll keep that. We'll hold on to that one.
What hat are you wearing tonight?
Me?
Phillies?
Bruh. How dare you?
The Cards.
The Cardinals? Yeah.
I didn't know. Are you a baseball gentleman?
My sports claim to fame is I saw Mark McGwire hit number 61, whichever one tied him with the record my junior year of high school.
Thought you were going to say 69.
Wow. That is.
You were in the building for that, huh? Who was it against?
It was against the Cincinnati Reds. The series before they played against the Cubs, when he broke the record, with Sammy Sosa on the floor, on the field.
Wow.
I didn't get to see that game, but I was there.
I remember. Remember that year?
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
It was wild.
every time you turned on something sports related, they would tune in. They would cut in to Mark McGwire every time.
You guys
Yeah,
seen
someone's
Sammy?
hit another home run.
You guys seen Sammy lately?
Oh,
Seen the ghost of Sammy.
He looks like TJ.
What does that mean?
No, you look good. You got a haircut today.
Yeah, I got my hair cut today. I got all of them cut. I need to. This thing's crazy.
Bro, that is such a dad. My dad has told that same joke for 60 years. He's 69 years old. 65, 67.
Shout out to dads the day after Father's Day.
Let's go.
Happy Father's Day.
Did you get your hair cut? No, I got all of them cut. No.
I love that one personally.
It actually is a pretty good one.
Except
right,
it
here's
does
what we're
mess
gonna
with
do.
some people hear it and they just don't understand it.
Next week, we're going to come with our top 3 dad jokes, and we're going to tell our top 3 dad jokes on the show.
Wow. Well, TJ's already told us number 1, so
That's your number 1? I mean, it flowed so well. How many times have you said that in your life? Like it flowed.
I mean,
like
every time that somebody says, "Did you get a haircut?" That's his first response.
Every time.
That's good, dude.
I don't know. I got some pretty good ones, but not a lot of dad jokes. I think I phased out a lot of the dad jokes. Like,
I bet they're dad.
now they just get cheesy. Like the one, I have a tablet, like we have a smart tablet. Like when you walk through our living room, if you look to the left, it's motion censored. So it pops up. It shows you our calendar of all the stuff we have going on, the weather for the day and all that. But I also put a dad joke of the day on there. And some of them are just bad, right? So I constantly get fed these things and then I forget them because they're so bad. Like I think today's was I have the heart of a lion and also a 5-year suspension from the San Francisco Zoo or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. So I stopped following on those.
Taking a lion's heart's only 5 years, huh?
Apparently. I
Here
did
come
have
the
a pretty good I would say a pretty good collection of Helen Keller jokes for a while there.
Ooh.
People
TJ,
yeah, those can get
had
kind of
quite the
heavy.
infatuation with Helen Keller for a little bit.
Did you see?
Not an
Have you
infatuation.
seen Tony? Y'all know who Tony Hinchcliffe is, right? The comedian.
Yeah, the comedian.
He did a Helen Keller joke, and someone in the crowd got really mad at him, and he said, "You do realize that if she was sitting here, she wouldn't even know that we were talking about her." It's like, damn, dude, savage.
He is pretty savage.
All
You know why
right.
Helen Keller's dog ran away.
What?
Do you know why Helen Keller's dog ran away?
Oh no.
Why?
Nothing. You would too if your name was. See, it's stuff like that.
Come on.
I can't. We gotta start the episode over. We gotta take that out. You can't throw those out there.
Okay. TJ, what are we drinking this evening?
Liquid ass.
Picnic in an attic.
Whoa.
Picnic in the park. It is a watermelon pizza. We're getting desperate here, folks. We're just trying to find new beer.
I was actually looking forward to this because I cut the grass earlier today. This seemed like a good after grass beer, and it was very hot. Today was like the first hot grass cut I've done all season so far. TJ doesn't seem to like it.
The can
Don't love it.
It's pretty good.
We'll get there.
We'll
get there. Don't be
It's a
jumping
fruited
the gun,
kettle sour. No strawberry though, so we should be good. It's just peach and watermelon.
Yeah.
Although TJ,
I
it
did
says it
check
pairs
that
well
first
with
and
disc
foremost.
golf. You went through a pretty heavy disc golf phase.
Yeah, I could probably still get out there and go maybe par, depending on what course. Been a while though.
Still get out there and sling it. What's par? What's typically a par on a disc golf course?
It depends, obviously, on what. Like, what do you mean? Like, how many strokes?
Yeah, like a full round of disc golf par is typically what? Like at golf, it's usually
72.
70. Oh, it's also 72?
Yeah, they make it match. They try to. Just depends where you play.
How far is a par 5 disc golf hole?
Oh, it'll be pretty far. Pretty far. I don't know that I've played a par 5 now. The more I think, maybe Shelby Farms may have a par 5. The Shelby Farms course is pretty wild though. You got some pretty gnarly bends on a lot of those throws. I'm looking at Sea Isle, which is where I play the most. Everything's a 3 there. I thought you may have 1-4, but so par at Sea Isle is 54. My math is mathing on that.
It should be
right. It just depends. I'd probably have to look it up, dude. I don't know off the top of my head. What
ladies and gentlemen, it's the off season. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We're in the heat of the summer. Not a whole much to talk about, but it is conference realignment season. It's back.
This is when y'all thrive. This is when y'all thrive. This is y'all's moment.
Our boy Pete Thamel put out an article yesterday evening, Sunday, Father's Day. Pac-12 is moving and grooving again. And it appears that Texas State is the favorite to make the Pac-12 a legitimate FBS conference. They'll be the 8th team added. A little bit of it should happen rather quickly. We're on June 16th as it stands today. And they've got until Texas State, in order for them to join in the 26-27 season, they need to be invited or accept an invitation by July the 1st. Otherwise, their buyout doubles. You know what Texas State's buyout is from the Sun Belt?
Probably not much.
It's currently $5 million.
Yeah. I mean, relatively not much, I guess.
So July 1, it goes to 10. Wish we could have gotten in on that buyout deal. Goodness gracious.
Sorry.
What is ours? 10 right now, and then it goes to 25 if you don't give 2 years heads up.
2 years heads up, yeah.
Ugh. Anyway, sounds like Texas State maybe the front runner to wrap that up. But our boy Pete put in a whole section just about Memphis. What's next for Memphis? He did call us the most interesting chess piece in all of future realignment outside of the power leagues. Given our strong basketball program, we got 11 consecutive bowl years running. We've got significant outside financial support with FedEx and other local large companies. Basically, what he said is, it sounds like to him, through his sources, there's no immediate desire to add Memphis from any of the power leagues, so that being the obviously SEC, Big 10, Big 12, ACC. But he's thrown out the idea, something that we heard, I think Dan Wolken originally kind of put this out there in the fall when we initially turned down the first invitation from the Pac-12 for all sports, is that we even explored the option of football only to the Pac-12 and then basketball and all other sports to the Big East. Pete Thamel has now thrown that out as well, saying that that's a real possibility, but that it wouldn't be really seriously discussed until at least 27, 28. Thoughts on where Memphis stands, Texas State getting out of the Pac-12, and then are you a fan, Timothy, of going to the Pac-12 if it's football only, and then everything else goes to the Big East?
I don't think so.
TJ, can you handle 4 Pac-12 After Dark games a year? Because that's all you'd get. It'd only be 4 of them.
I don't think so. Why would it only be 4?
Well, you got your 4 non-cons in football, right? You're football only. You got 4 non-cons. You got 8 conference games, and you split half of that, right? So you only got 4 road games. And probably,
is this TJ the fan?
You probably wouldn't play all 4 of them that far on the West Coast either, right? Like, you get a Texas State in there, that's fine. Yeah, TJ is the fan. What was the other? TJ is the fan or TJ is the what?
Yeah, because I think these are different questions, right? So if you said TJ the fan, could you do it? Would you want to do it? Versus TJ, the hypothetical AD or athletic department member, right? I think those are different.
We're not TJ AD. We're TJ what TJ wants.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest draw about the Pac, honestly, was it was going to be a really good basketball conference. So you kind of lose that, but I think that's okay if you're going to trade it for the Big East, right? I think that's kind of a wash, right?
Yeah.
I think both conferences, Big East or this new Pac, are going to put in 4 teams into the conference or into the tournament. Excuse me, 4-ish probably, right? So I think it's kind of a wash from that perspective. In football, you're playing probably better opponents only because you get Boise, and you don't currently have a Boise right now, right? So I mean, if you look at it from that way, yeah, it's going to be better.
You called the basketball leagues a wash. I'd say basketball league leans Big East pretty heavily favored. I mean, I know they got Gonzaga and a couple of solid teams, but you've got more notable historically. What is happening at somebody's house? Goodness gracious!
I've got a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old who are having their nighttime routine.
Wow. I'd put the basketball league push Big East, honestly. Do you think from a football perspective, and I mean basketball, obviously I think attendance would be helped. You think from a football we would really see that big of an increase with bringing in a Washington State every other year, an Oregon State every other year? I mean, we saw Boise come in 2 years ago. Like, I think you're probably going to get an initial increase. I think the stadium will help with that too, right? It'll be something like people are going to want to come and see the stadium, experience that. And if you lined that up with some new opponents, I think there would probably be an initial bump. But like 2 years ago, the Boise State didn't really draw any more than any other game, honestly, that we'd ever.
Are we sure about that? Let me look at the numbers.
It was right at 30,000.
I remember it not being that big of a game. Like in terms of attendance.
I thought they had 40.
No, it was just over 30. I don't even know that it got to 31. I think it was 30 and a couple hundred.
Well, the turnstile count, it's always off.
The scanners never work.
30,364 is the number I see.
Oh, see?
And that's honestly the cream of the crop in that conference. I don't think, me personally, I don't expect much from Wazoo or Oregon State.
Yeah.
I know that they were cool a couple of years ago, but I don't know.
I mean, I think, like I
it's
said,
going to be a
I think it
Boise-led
would help
conference.
some, but it's not going to be like the SEC teams draw coming in here or anything like that, right? Like, I mean, I think it would be helpful if you run into Boise where they're, it has playoff implications like it may have had last year. They got a legitimate Heisman candidate on their team. They're ranked in the top 15. You could catch lightning in a bottle again and get a game day scenario where you're both ranked and it's a big time game. It's the event to be at, something like that. But I don't know that we're going to see like a significant increase.
Financially, what does it do for the Tigers?
I mean, I think that's the other interesting part, right? Like that's some of what I think Thamel talked about is last year all in, we got 11 million from the American. According to him, the new Big East deal is expected to do 7 million per school annually. So then the question becomes, does adding Memphis keep that the same, right? Or is there some sort of prorated clause that would allow them to at least get still 7 million? Or are we just taking another slice of the pie? The pie's not getting any bigger. We'll say we at least keep it the same size. They think adding us constitutes that. So you're talking about 7. Then it's going to come down to like, I don't know, what portion of the pie do you get out of the Pac-12 deal as football only? I mean, football is obviously the driver in that, but you got teams like Gonzaga who are coming in.
They're getting a full share, right? Isn't Gonzaga getting a full share?
Full share. They are.
I don't know. Is that factual?
They are.
That seems wild.
Yeah, that's factual. Gonzaga gets a full share as well. What are you going to do? It's Gonzaga. It's your one move.
A full share of what, though? Right? They don't even have a deal yet.
It's going to be the proposed 7 million. They get the no. I've heard. I literally have been told twice by 2 different people that Gonzaga gets the full share, which is wild to think about. But I guess that's the only way you can get them to sign in. And it makes me think, how long until you get St. Mary's at a full share as well?
Okay, yeah, I see it now. Gonzaga will join as a full media share member. They will receive 100% share of the conference's TV deal. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. But the other thing, like, they still don't have an official announced deal, so we don't know what the Pac-12's deal would be. But I don't know. I don't think it would be worse. I guess it depends on who they are. I don't know. There was some news relatively recently about being like 4 partners in their deal potentially with, I forget all. It was like the CW, ESPN, TNT.
So would that mean that no more games on ESPN Plus, or is that
and PBS? I think
PBS has been defunded.
I don't know that one's what you're looking for.
I don't know. I can't remember what they
PBS
said.
is no longer.
I don't know if ESPN was one of the teams that was in there. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's just for football for this season. Yeah, I don't know. They don't have a deal out. I mean, I don't know what the number would be, but you would assume if you can join the Big East and get a full share by joining that at 7, I mean, you'd only have to get 4 in a Pac-12 deal to be the same. And I think the Pac-12 deal would be more than that. And if Gonzaga is getting a full share as basketball only, then certainly you as the football only member would get a full share. That would seem ridiculous to me for Gonzaga to get a full share and not us. So yeah, even if it's like something like 7-7, you're coming out ahead.
What do you mean by coming out ahead there?
Based on what you would get with the AAC.
I'm just saying you would be getting 14 a year compared to 11.
Right.
I mean, I'm not getting down in the nitty gritty and the added 4 different, now you got 4 West Coast games potentially a year that you're traveling to, but I can't imagine that's. I don't know. I guess maybe sending a football team out to the West Coast could potentially eat up
a lot of money,
amount of money.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because I do think if Memphis is interested in theoretically joining the pack, I mean, as I think it was Thamel you said, points out that Memphis is clearly the number one, the biggest domino kind of going forward. Where I think it's interesting is that it doesn't seem like the pack has any interest in taking on Tulane or a Tulsa.
USF.
Because it's not US. Yeah, I said Tulsa. I'm sorry. I was trying to say Tampa. I was thinking Tampa in my head. USF. Thank you. Because it's not like Memphis and New Orleans have a different TV market, right? They're more or less the same. I think they're pretty close. I guess it's more of a which school has better buy-in, right? When the teams are doing well, like who's going to have more local engagement? You're going to have higher turnout at a Tiger game than you would a Tulane game kind of situation. That's my only guess, and I guess maybe USF is just too far because that Tampa market would be great, but damn, that's a far fly,
I mean, literally across the country, like
quite literally, yeah. Well, I mean, they're doing that already if you think about it, but maybe not them, but teams are doing that already.
Yeah, like Stanford did that this year, right? Like,
yeah, with a lot more money to play with.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But if you compare them all together in terms of like looking at success, looking at things at fan base, the market size, I don't know that we can even include geography. Maybe if you want to throw geography in there for shits and giggles, you could do that. But I don't know how much that helps you. But
how much weight do you?
Does Thamel saying there's no immediate interest in Memphis from the power leagues? Is that just in what he has said, kind of pitching this Pac-12 football only, Big East, all other sports? You discouraged by that?
No, I don't think so.
Or do you look at this optimistically and like, hey, at least
there's movement.
We're being talked about, and there's possibilities of things happening.
No, I wouldn't look at it negatively in any way, right? I think that's more about everyone knows that the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the ACC, all the movement's going to happen the closer you get to 2030, right? When the new contracts are out. And when I personally think everything is going to go to a tiered system, you're going to get a tier one. All this revenue sharing stuff is going to get wild. Schools aren't going to be able to afford it. And you're going to get teams more or less bowing out of some of these quote unquote power conferences, right? I don't think you can get into a situation where Wake Forest is out there trying to compete and spending, $15 million. Yeah. Like it's not
Clemson and Florida State. It's like, how do you, yeah.
You're going to have teams that can absolutely spend the full 20 or whatever the cap is, and other teams that can't. So we'll see how that works out. But to me, it seems like it's going to be the great divide at some point in time. And I think it comes closer to that 2030 time frame.
TJ, I already hear the conversation, though. I hear the Memphis fans in the comment section going, TJ, get us out of this bum-ass conference. No matter what. Who cares? No matter what. Yeah. Well, how much weight do y'all put behind that?
I mean, I'm all in on that. I'm real sick of this league.
Look, people aren't going to like it. We talk about how shitty the league is and how bad the teams are, yet we can't win it. So it's like, why? It can't be that bad if we can't win it consistently, right? I think that's got to have some weight in everything we're saying here. Now, maybe that's other things. Maybe you want to point fingers at coaching staff. That could be football or basketball, honestly. I mean, it's not like Penny has just had smooth sailing with incredible talent. Ryan Silverfield has incredible talent, hasn't been able to win the conference, right? This holds true for both sports.
We just won the league in basketball.
Well, one time.
Okay, we are the defending champions, and we're about to win the league in football. We're about to hold both major sports titles.
It'd be great. It'd be a great time to do it.
In the same calendar year.
It'd be a great time.
And then we might repeat in basketball. Although that one's today, I'm feeling a little less hopeful on that one.
What's happened? What's happened to make you feel less hopeful?
We just still haven't heard anything about Dane, so I don't think it's happening. Although I will say, the basketball team put out like a what'd they say? Something Friday. It was on Friday with them all dancing together. If this team has nothing else, they at least got chemistry. And they seem to like each other a lot.
I thought he was going to say dance moves.
Well, those as well. But Friday vibes. Did you guys see this video?
Yep.
Mm-mm.
I mean, tell me those guys don't like each other.
Yep.
As an athlete, the best teams you've been on have been the ones that
Like
have
each other.
Friday have Friday vibes like this.
Well, you saw. Did you see Sincere Parker's video? He did.
I haven't watched that yet. But look at that team.
He said, how would you describe this team? He said, dogs. Every one of us.
That takes me back to the banana boat days in the Dominican. You talk about a team that liked each other. Friday vibes.
Dogs.
Wasn't that the Thunder or the Heat? The Miami Heat?
That was the Heatles. That was the Heatles.
Oh, that was a thing with
LeBron, Dwayne, and Chris Bosh.
Yep.
Yeah. And somehow Carmelo was supposed to be on the trip, but he hadn't shown up yet. But he's always thrown in as one of the banana boat boys, even though he wasn't on the banana boat. It wasn't Chris Bosh. Who was it?
Yeah, it was.
LeBron, D-Wade. No, it wasn't.
Chris Paul?
Yeah, it was Chris Paul. Yes.
What was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't sound right.
It might have been Chris Paul.
Yeah. LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Paul, and Gabrielle Union on the front.
Well, this is the wifey.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, if something had happened within especially the basketball side of the league, where I would say there's another team that has a shot, there is no other team that has a shot to win this league. Like, they just don't. I just think this Memphis team is.
You're saying this year?
Yeah, like even as
metrically right now, Kenny, South Florida is better than us.
Okay, cool.
And they got a coach that knows how to beat Penny Hardaway in his own house.
Sure,
and not just beat him, whip his ass.
Great.
On a Sunday afternoon at 3:30.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Did that not happen? Factually.
Yeah, I don't. It's too soon to call that, guys. I mean, way too soon. We'll see. Let's watch a couple of games and we can go about something there, right?
Let's watch the St. Jude Tip-Off Classic and make massive judgments about the team like we did last year.
Right.
They can't score.
We thought we were the worst shooting team in the country, and then we led the country in 3-point shooting for 75% of the year.
The narratives coming out of the Alabama and North Carolina game.
What's the date of that game?
I don't think it's been announced yet.
Mm-hmm. I kind of forgot about that freaking cow coming back.
Yeah, man.
You know, it's
should be
really weird. You mentioning that, I just remembered this. A couple of nights ago, I had a random dream that we traded coaches and Calipari became our coach and Penny went to coach Arkansas. I don't know why that happened, but I had that as a dream.
Oh, man. I'm good.
Didn't get it. I don't know what happened. We didn't get any games played or anything. It was literally just like I saw 2 press conferences on like Sports Center with them talking about the coaching trade. And then I woke up. And I woke up thinking it was real for a minute. And I almost texted you guys. One of those crazy fever dreams, you know. All right. Well, we'll see. Conference realignment's alive and well. And if anything happens, if Texas State is truly the Pac-12's next move, I would anticipate that happening in the next like 2 weeks, so that their buyout doesn't double.
We'll see. I don't know. Here's what's tricky about that before we move on. It's tricky because they can't nail down a deal without having a team like Memphis, because they need to add in like, hey, look, here's a top 50. What is it? DMA? What's the acronym?
Damn.
Initialism. DMA. TV market. No, it's like the TV market, right? So Memphis has the top 50 TV market. You can add that to your media deal, right? And you can say, hey, look at this. This is X many more TVs. People in Memphis love college football. Trey's screamed this from the mountaintops for years now that Memphis watches more college football than most other teams, right? Or most other cities. So you have that going for yourself. So The Pac desperately wants Memphis because they want that TV market. They need that sweetener. But we as Memphis, we don't want to get bogged down by this grant of rights. I don't need you to put a handcuff on me saying, hey, if you do this, you have to sign this grant of rights and you're locked down for arbitrary number, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it may be. Right.
You think that's a sticking point for the Tigers?
It should be.
Why?
Yeah, it should be.
Why?
Why not? It's so hard to get out of a grant of rights. We would literally be doing this for 3 years with Florida State and Clemson.
No, I understand that, but why would they? What in the landscape of how things are going with the rest of college football, the Power Four, makes you think that the Tigers should put themselves in a position where they can? You think the Big 12 or ACC is going to come calling? They've had their shot.
No, I don't think they've had to. They haven't had to do anything. They just went out and said, hey, SMU, we'll take you on as a charity case. And guess what? SMU walked in, played for free, and then won the damn conference. I'm pretty sure they won the conference.
No, they lost.
They lost in
that. They played in it, right? They played in the championship game for it. Why spend the money for Memphis? Why go out and do that? You have no need. You're still trying to figure out what you're going to do. And all of this, everything is going to reset in 2030, right? Literally everything, you're going to hit a refresh button. So I don't know why Memphis would want to, unless, asterisk here, I don't know why Memphis would want to sign a grant of rights and lock themselves in for this long-term deal for the 7 million, 8 million, whatever it's going to be in the pack. Maybe it goes up to 8 or 9. I don't know. And then, college football hits the reset button, but you're locked into a grant of rights. You can't show any of your games on any TV without the PAC's percent, without them giving you their approval, right? And Memphis doesn't have the cash to buy themselves out. And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to make this argument of, just sign it now and we'll figure it out at the end of the day. Well, Uncle Fred is already building you a stadium, right? You don't have that many donors in Memphis that can just come out and spend that money left and right. You're building the stadium renovations. They're already throwing in how much money for NIL? You have the Liza Fletcher Stadium going on. You have the Academic Village or whatever it's called, or the Athletes Village on South Campus. There's so many projects going on right now, and they're all donor based. And guess what? Once we hit revenue sharing, we're going right back into the revenue share. We're going right back into begging donors for more money. So it's going to get to a point where you get this donor fatigue.
Oh,
you're going to get donor fatigue. It's already real.
Donor fatigue was 15 years ago.
You're going to the same people and begging them.
Long-term donor fatigue.
For sure. And you've lost a lot of those donors, right? They moved down south. Well, I can think of one right off the top of my head that moved down south. Now that's
R.C. Johnson.
Right off.
Yep.
Oh, well, I said donor, not pain in the ass.
Oh,
goodness gracious.
I have a counter that I want to, and it's a counter argument based on previous conference realignment conversations that we've had on this show. Your entire frustration with the way Memphis has handled things in the past is stop being the Big 12's booty call, right? Like, so are we now then turning ourselves into the Power Four, whatever may happen booty call of like, it could potentially happen. We've got something in front of us potentially now that puts on a bigger stage, more money, maybe a conference that is aligning itself as the best of the rest. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so are we advocating here to just go, we're going to push this away with the potential of maybe they'll call us. We're going to hit you we're going to slide in your DMs all the time. And hey, call me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my counter argument is, are you advocating to turn Memphis back into a booty call for these other leagues?
No. So I think you have to look at this from what you want to consider your time frame, right? So let's say you look at it from the next 10 years. If Memphis is going to make the 7 million, 8 million, whatever it may be from the PAC, right? Let's say you accept that deal, you take that. At a certain point in time, if there is that refresh button hit on college football in general, how much money are you giving up from the time that reset button happens to when that grant of rights is out? because we
Walk me
already
through what the
agree
reset looks like. Walk me through what the reset in the greatest opportunity for Memphis. What would the reset in 2030 look like?
Oh, you've already heard the Big Ten and the SEC are trying to join together, right? They want to make this upper echelon conference. It's going to be a situation of the best of the best. You know, the Ohio States, the Georgia, the Michigan, all of them want to play each other.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could put Alabama in there if you wanted to. I don't, you know, are they still the best? Who knows anymore? Right?
Sheesh, by that point.
Who's to say? But that's the idea, right? At some point, that's what a conference is going to be. It's going to be the best of the best. And I do think you're going to get cherry picking, right? You're going to get the Florida States and the Clemsons. They're going to go to the super league, the super conference, the tier 1, whatever you want to call it, right? They're going to be here. Where's everybody else go? You know, Rutgers isn't a great school by any means. Like, no one's scared of Rutgers. No one is scared. Well, Maryland, from a football perspective, not that great of a football school, but there's Indiana, for example. Granted, they're better now than they have been lately, in years past, I should say, I guess. Illinois. These are all teams that are just soaking up this ridiculous amount of money, and they're not doing really anything to deserve it other than you have a big booster in Maryland and you're in a great TV market. Illinois kind of just got pushed in because they've been around. Indiana, same conversation. Maybe some basketball stuff at play there, but you get what I'm saying. These schools have just kind of been leeching off these other programs, and it's going to get to a point where it comes down to finances, and everyone says, we want the biggest piece of the pie, right? We are the premier things. You guys are just a sideshow, more or less. And I think that's what's going to happen is you're going to get this tier 1, tier 2 type of situations, especially with revenue sharing, right? We've already kind of touched on it. An Iowa State. Can Iowa State afford to pay the same as all the other Big 12 powerhouses? I don't think so. I don't know about Kansas State, what kind of money they have lying around. I couldn't imagine Kansas State has the money to hang, you know, anywhere near the cap of 20 million in revenue sharing. So at some point, these schools are going to break off. And I think that's where Memphis wants to be. I think that's where they should be looking for. It's not let me into the SEC, let me into these power conferences that we know today. It's let me into that tier 2 grouping. Let that be my ceiling. And I think if you can get that, you're fine. Right. I think that's what we should be striving for.
So you think a potential move to the Pac-12 signing, whatever, doesn't allow for that to happen?
Well, I mentioned an asterisk earlier. I think it just depends on what you can work out from a conversation from the contract perspective, right? So if you're in the Discord, D-Grums and I were talking about this earlier. If the grant of rights is, hey, it's 10 years long, if Memphis comes in as this premier media sweetener, if you will, you know, I couldn't imagine them wanting to the media aspect of it all. I couldn't imagine them wanting to give you X special number of dollars for Memphis, but Memphis is on a shorter deal than everybody else. Like, why would I pay you $2 million more per school now that Memphis is here? And then Memphis is also going to leave first kind of situation. Like, you can't lock them in. I think you kind of get yourselves in a tricky situation there. So I can't imagine the Pac being interested in giving Memphis a shorter leash or a shorter time frame and holding everybody else to this 10-year deal. So I don't think Memphis should take it. I really don't. And, you know, maybe I'm crazy, and I'll accept that, right? This is more money right now. It puts you in a better conference. You're playing better opponents. I don't know how long the Pac-12 is going to have an auto bid, right? I think they get one for like a year or so. I don't know how long they get that auto bid in football. So I don't know at the end of the day if Memphis ran through a bad AAC, if they have a better or worse chance of making the playoff than if they went 8-1 or not 8-1. That's bad math. 7-1 or anything in the pack, right? I don't know which one's going to be the better chance of getting that last playoff spot, but it's tricky.
I think the interesting thing about it is going to be seeing what happens for all of this to happen in 2030. This great reset, the tier level things you're talking about. You have to imagine there's probably going to have to be some pretty extended legal battles with these schools and conferences against the NCAA.
Sure.
And so you have to wonder if, like, what kind of precedent is going to be set over these next 4 or 5 years that will make getting out of those kinds of grant of rights and all those extended 10-year grant of rights that you're kind of projecting for the Pac-12. You got to wonder if that's going to be like what that's going to look like, like if there's going to be right now. Yeah, it would seem like, right now in the landscape that we're in right now, that would be something tough to feel like to feel comfortable about signing. But you have to wonder, like, what in the next 4 years, 5 years, is it going to look like the process of basically restructuring this entire thing? It's not going to be just NCAA is not just going to roll over and say, meh, okay. There's going to be fights, right? And I wonder if maybe some of those fights are going to make the battle that Memphis has to get into, if they choose to do this route with the Pac-12, make it easier for them. I don't know. There's just so much up in the air. I just think you look at what's in front of you and you say what's in front of them potentially right now with the Pac-12 is better than what they're in, right? Better than the AAC.
Sure. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that, right? I don't think anyone looks at it and says, "Oh, Boise State, who doesn't want to play them? Are we sure they're better than Tulsa,
Rice,
right?
UAB.
Rice, like who? No one's debating that. I mean, I guess you probably could in a way, but
no, you can't.
I don't know anything how Boise is supposed to be next year, but they're probably going to be pretty damn good because they are pretty damn good. No, I don't think anyone's going to say that it's not a better conference right now, right? Your resume would look better playing that future Pac-12 conference than it would paying the AAC conference. But
I say forget I say the
it's
resume,
a gamble, man. It's a big gamble, and I think it's a financial thing that Memphis knows that they can't really get into that battle. I honestly think that's what it comes down to.
Take risk, baby.
Yeah. I think you have to take risks in this day and age of the NCAA. I think you have to. I think you have to believe in yourself, believe in your athletic department, and just you have to make choices. Sitting back on the sidelines and saying, maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. We want to position ourselves. We've been positioning ourselves for 30 damn years. It's like, it's time to go. It's time to do something.
Well, it's not the same thing, though. It is taking a risk, right? I think that's what I said earlier. It depends on what your time frame is, right? If your time frame is 5 years, yeah, you take the move to Pac-12, right? Straight up. Why would you not? It's more money. It's better conference. We just talked about it. Yeah. But if you're taking a risk saying, I'm going to pass on a bird in the hand for two in the bush, if you're going to do that kind of situation, it's taking a risk by bypassing on that to look down the road for the college football reset and not being locked into this crazy grant of rights.
We've just been burned.
It's the same argument.
We've been burned by the bush for so many years that I'm just kind of like, okay, like I don't want to get burned again by the bush. We got what's in our hand. Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, if you got what's in your hand, accept the Americans pay and just roll with that.
There might be another bush.
There could be another bush.
I don't know if there's another bush.
Bushes are growing every single day.
It's bush season.
It's bush season.
Bush is back.
We'll see. I'm a firm believer that we're going to get the super conference, the super league, whatever you want to call it. How many teams is it going to be?
Who's the SEC president? What's
Greg
his name?
Sankey.
Thank you.
He said it. He said it a few days ago. He said it's coming. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they run college football, right? I mean,
yeah, 100%.
It's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad if you think about it, but I do think it, honestly, at the end of the day, depending on how many teams are in this Super League, it's the best thing for Memphis. I'll be honest.
I don't disagree.
Because Memphis is never going to be a Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State. I think you just have to admit that as a fan, right? But can they be the tier 2? Yeah, I think they can. I think they can compete with the tier 2, right?
Can they be the Wake Forest? Can they be the Wake Forest?
They should be way damn better of a Wake Forest. You know what I mean?
Force's ass. We're tier 2 on college football 26.
Is that true?
Yeah, we were last year too.
Wow.
We were tier 2 team.
I think this could open up into a deeper conversation. Like if you put out, I don't know, let's say it's I mean, I think the number going around is 40 to 60. So let's just say 50 teams. You pick the top 50 teams in college football, and
For
not
the
like
Super League.
Yeah, for that Super League. Like you go ahead and pick them up, set them aside, and then go ahead and make your tier 2 league, make your tier 3 league, right? I don't know if you're going to do 50 teams per or anything like that, but I think it could be an interesting conversation. I think for the most part, we'd all have the same information, or the same teams in our Super Leagues, but I don't know.
50 seems like a lot. I was thinking like
50 does seem like a lot.
24.
Well, but that's the number they're throwing around, right? That's not us. Well, 24, that's one conference. That's just the SEC. Let's talk about the SEC and Clemson and
yeah, but not every SEC team deserves to be in it.
Well,
right?
That's
why would
that's
Vandy be in the Super League?
Why are they in the SEC now?
Super League?
Why would South Carolina be in the Super League?
Well, South Carolina has the best college quarterback, so that's why. They ain't going anywhere. You got to think TV markets. How much does that play into this stuff too?
Oh God!
If you freaking TV markets. We're taking a break before we get into TV markets. We're going to come back.
Jesus Christ!
The Tiger Takeover 26 is still rolling, and then we're reviewing this picnic in a park, and we're getting the heck out of here. We'll be right back.
Looking for an alternative to alcohol or conventional medicine? Check out Ounce of Hope, a Memphis-based dispensary with 2 local stores in the Sanderland Center and on South Cooper Street. You can get all the products you need in a location convenient to you. Each store offers an intentional shopping experience with dedicated bud tenders to answer all of your questions, from product selection and mushroom blends to our personal favorite, the Delta 9 seltzers. You gotta try the Peach Buzz. Try Ounce of Hope at either one of their 2 Memphis stores or at www.ounceofhope.com for convenient products shipped right to your door. Use the promo code BluffCity for 15% off any order, excluding sale items. Cannot be used in conjunction with other promotions or discounts. One use per customer. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Kenny.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's commitment, dude.
Hey, boy.
Nice.
All that, dude. That's commitment.
So you know where I was?
When'd you do that?
You know where I was last week when y'all were doing the show?
You told us you were filming a commercial.
What do you think that was? A commercial.
I don't know. I thought you were fighting to get Yellow Wendy's back.
Ooh, Yellow Wendy's
for a while.
Yellow Wendy's with the sunrooms. Dang.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
What?
Stop it. Yes, he does. He's messing with this.
Yellow. Their fry containers and their cups were yellow, not red.
The signs were yellow.
You don't remember that, Kenny? This is ridiculous.
I can't tell you the last time I had Wendy's. I can't tell you. Like,
we used to get it like
wish I could say the same.
Every Sunday night, probably for a while.
Like, I'm a sucker for spicy nugs. I ain't gonna lie.
Some spicy nugs.
Spicy these nugs.
Spicy
Kenny.
Nugs.
What?
You don't remember this? Yellow Wendy's?
No, that doesn't look. That's
That
fake.
is ridiculous.
That's fake.
Do you remember Wendy's sunroom?
Sunrooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big rounded thing in the front.
Got nothing for you, boys.
You mean to draw it on Microsoft Paint for you?
Might be the most ridiculous human being ever.
Bring out the Microsoft Paint. Hey, we can make fun of Microsoft Paint. You check. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, the freaking greenhouse effect at Wendy's.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you. I was getting concerned.
Yeah, I remember that. Jesus. Trent.
All I did was stop sharing. I don't know what to tell you. You fixed StreamYard.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
TJ and I talked about it last week because, Kenny, I don't know if you watched or you saw.
I did.
Your Tigers are in the.
I didn't watch y'all's up. I watch everything.
I don't know if you do or not. You were getting tattoos and stuff.
Yeah,
So
How do I
to say.
miss? I don't miss y'all's show. All right. Even when
We
I'm not on
appreciate
it,
that.
I don't miss that show.
well, we're in the upper 40, lower 40s. I don't know how to say that. We were like 41 or 42 in Rivals recruiting, ahead of the likes of
Are they still
Alabama
around? Is the rival still around?
Yeah.
Do
for
What do you
now.
mean?
they still
Yeah.
count?
I mean, they're
They are
collabing
the-
up with
better than everybody
On3,
else.
right?
They just got bought out.
Yeah, here's the thing: is On3 is so bad
So
at covering
bad.
recruiting. So bad at covering recruiting. Rivals does a great job. Maybe that's just our boy Brian Moss. I don't know. I
Brian
don't know
Moss
if he's
is
doing
the
his
man.
work and covering that for us or what, but
Yeah.
he's the only one that's up to date. Okay. That's where I go for my recruiting news.
Well, with recruiting news, Tiger Takeover 26 continues.
Fighting
We are still
words.
ahead of Alabama. We've gotten 3 more commitments. We got 2 yesterday on Father's Day. We got another one today. 2 DBs.
Hmm.
Josiah Brown from Pensacola, Florida, committed yesterday. We got a commitment from Malik Bracey.
That's an
6'1".
elite name. That's an elite name, by the way.
Yeah.
What? Malik Bracey?
Yeah, that's a great
Bracy.
name.
You know,
Bracy's a good
brace
name.
for impact. This man had some big offers.
A couple of
Came
them
out.
did, honestly.
Michigan State, Ole Miss had an offer from Oklahoma State. Tulane's on there.
You said he's a DB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. 3-star. And then today we got a linebacker out of Carlton, Georgia, 6'2", 220, Caden Spratling, with a verbal commit. He had a future cast for Georgia Tech,
For Georgia Tech.
but committed to the Tigs today.
Let's go. Let's go, Ryan. Shout out.
See, this
So-
is what the thing. It always gets me real freaking amped up for the recruiting stuff when I see it's just crushing it. And you go and look at these guys, right? Caden Spratling. I'll just use him because Trey just talked about him. Future casted for Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech, obviously not the greatest college football program in the world, but that's notable. You know who they are. Josiah Brown had Mizzou, Malik Bracey. He had a heck of a list. Cal, Michigan State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, right? I mean, we're talking big name schools here that are, for the most part, all have more money than Memphis. They have probably more to offer, depending on what you're looking for. And these people are choosing Memphis. I think that's awesome, and it's not the most common thing in the world. Stick around.
It's becoming more common. It's becoming more common.
I think the shrinking of the rosters, the fine tuning of the rosters because of basically no walk-ons anymore. I'm curious how that will work, because in years past, what would happen is all these dudes would commit to Memphis, and then in the 11th hour they jump ship because an SEC team has a spot. Not that many spots out there anymore, so maybe we'll finally get some dudes being held true to their commitment, right?
We'll see. It is still early, but we're making moves.
Big moves.
Money moves.
That's one thing. That's one thing about Ryan. You can never ever doubt.
You can never ever doubt his recruiting class rankings.
They're always getting progressively better. What is that? Willie Good? Willie Good
Salt
Barbecue?
Lick.
Yeah, nice shirt.
Check that out. Are you kidding me? I forgot I was wearing this. My in-laws got me this from Austin.
I have a question for y'all that was brought up on co-hosted a $2 Sports Show a couple of weeks ago, and wanted to a question was asked, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. Dan Mullen the now head coach at UNLV, who has clearly
familiar with his work,
clearly propositioned the Tigers many times for their head coaching job. He came out
about positioning
or positioned himself. There you go. Proposition might be the wrong word. He came out last week or a couple weeks ago and said he's talking about the transfer portal windows and said that they should absolutely go away from the spring transfer portal window. That once you're on campus in January or whenever, that spring transfer portal window should be closed, that they shouldn't allow whatever your roster is coming out of spring football should be your roster. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think the winter one's too early.
Yes.
You got kids hitting the portal while the season's not even done yet. The spring one I don't mind.
I don't mind it either.
I mean, I'm like, the school year, you're ending a school year, you got summer coming up, a kid's going through spring. If he doesn't like where he stands, I feel like that's a fine time to try to seek out another opportunity. I think if they changed anything, it would need to be starting the winter one a little later, so you don't run into
starting
these issues
in January kind of thing.
Yeah, these kids. I mean, it shouldn't be open until I mean, that goes for basketball too. The basketball one opens before the tournament's over. I don't think the portal should open until a season is concluded.
What are y'all's thoughts on? What are y'all's thoughts on taking that winter portal, doing away with the winter portal, and adding? I think it's an 8-day window for the winter portal, or maybe a 10-day window, something like that. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's like you take those dates and you add them to the spring window
and just have
turn it into like one window, 18 days, 20-day window, and that's your window to get in, get out, get away.
Yeah, I don't know that you really necessarily need multiple windows, but so one to me makes sense. But I guess there are kids I don't know. There are kids that want to go somewhere and they want to.
The spring window is only like 10 days. The spring window is only
it's April for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but still, like.
So I mean, all right. So I get it's twofold, right? It depends who you're looking at. If you're talking to a coach, they want to be able to understand what their roster is. So if you take on, you're looking at your recruiting class in February when everything is final. You need to know how many transfer guys you're going to have in. Then that kind of depicts how many transfer guys you can have, or how many high school kids you can have. So like, I get why they want to cut down some of these windows, but at the same time, if you're a college senior, you're at, let's say, Kentucky, and you've never played, but you could transfer down to MTSU, compete for a starting spot, and you can't. Let's say you can't get it the starting job at MTSU. Well, now you can go to ETSU and you can start immediately. But if you take away that extra window, now you never have that opportunity. And you're just going to either be at Kentucky or be at MTSU forever, and you never get a starting chance. Now, is that your fault because you suck at football? It kind of sounds like it. But, I don't know what to say there. It's tough. You want to do what's right for the player, but also if you're the coach, you need to understand what your roster is going to be made up of, right? And having more time of knowing that's better. I don't know. I think what I would do, honestly, Trey kind of touched on it. I would get that winter one and move it until after the national championship game. I would have a short window there. That's not going to stop anybody from announcing their intentions of entering the portal, which still makes me very angry and annoys me when they do that. But you can enter your intentions, but you can't actually enter the portal until after the season is complete. You can sit out of your bowl game, whatever. I don't care.
How do we get a portal login?
That is great. I've actually tried the dark web to try to figure that out.
They got it on lockdown now. There was availability to get in the portal if you had a specific login, but they started to scout like where the logins were being accessed from and kicking folks out.
I'm being honest. I'm surprised there's not someone on Reddit who's just on a subreddit thread, just out there slinging all this data.
You don't think there is? I bet there is.
Dude, I have searched.
There's got to be a way to get in there.
I have searched high and low to find names. Just like a daily automation push, right? John Smith hit the portal. 6'9" forward, right? Like I want give me names.
A Reddit thread where it just goes. That's your Reddit notifications are just that thread alone.
Yeah, that's a sickness right there. But
Well, they have it on Twitter. They have the
It'd be
portal.
fun.
I had the
Yeah.
portal watcher
thing.
Twitter thread like notifications on throughout the entire basketball off season, or when it opened.
I will say there are dudes, and you probably know this. There are like players that will literally message you and say, "Hey, I plan to enter the portal," right? And you're like, "Okay, what do I do with this information?" Like, I don't want to put that out there and get in trouble. Like, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm a grown ass man. I can't get in trouble.
Get in trouble with who?
Yeah, I don't want to say get in trouble, but like, out of all due respect, I'm not going to send that information out. Like, well, you can't. Like, it's Twitter. What are they going to say? They're going to not let us do an interview? What's new? The what? Well, I just meant like
Sammy Sosa.
I don't even understand. I am tan. This is a poor representation, but I am tan.
That looks like that. Literally, if you had come to me blind with just that still shot and you said whose forearm is this, I'd probably
say Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa would have been in my top 5 choices
easily
because they looked all juiced up like that. I get that.
Yeah, I mean mostly. Are
you serious? This is what you think I look like?
No, it's not. You look like him. He looks like you now.
Yeah,
that is.
You're looking at the same guy.
Have you seen what he?
Actually, kind of.
I don't know if I'm friends with you guys. I don't know if I want to be friends with y'all anymore after that one.
Oh my gosh, he looks like a wax figurine from one of those places called.
Look, this isn't you.
Oh, wax museum.
Hold on.
Yeah, but what?
Are you doing the one where he's wearing the pink hat?
Is it up there? Come on, there it is.
That's not even a good one.
I know where you live, Kenneth. No, that's not even the worst one, dude.
That's not even a good one.
No.
That's you.
You got to do the Pink Panther one. TJ, pull up.
Yeah, do the one with the pink hat.
Jesus.
Find the one with the pink hat because that one right there is the most offensive. And almost just cut it off, dude. Just like that, I was out of here.
This picture.
Did you find it?
Yes, it's coming. Oh,
you good with technology, dude?
I'm trying. Here I go.
This is what nightmares are made of. Is this one specific picture of him wearing all white?
What is happening?
It looks like
this is a commercial.
Is this an ad, Kenny?
It is. Hold on.
How do you have an ad on a still image? That's not even the right one.
A pink hat.
No, it's this one. You didn't even get. It's the Pink Panther one.
I tried.
I've never seen someone roll around in baby powder, but this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
You rolled around in baby powder. Yes, exactly.
Twinsies.
I mean, it looks a lot like TJ.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, speaking of pink, let's get on this can.
Nice segue.
Picnic.
That was
in
a
the
professional.
park.
That was a professional segue. Just want you to know that.
Oh, TJ and his segues.
He's hurt right now. he's hurt.
Everybody hurt.
Oh goodness, is that really how you spell picnic? Why does that look so bad? The eyes for sure.
The eyes for sure. The nose.
I have.
It's the
My
high
eyes have
cheek.
color in
It's
them.
the cheekbones.
If he would just grow like a 5-day beard,
Mm-hmm.
we'd be
You
there.
guys are jerks.
TJ, what do you think of this pink can and our boy Natch?
It sucks. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I kind of like it.
I mean, it's the same thing, dude. It's Hampline. It's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, they're all. We know what we're
They are
getting,
what
but
they are.
they put enough subtle changes in there.
Do they?
Yeah, with
Font,
fonts and color. And Natch is always he's always the same and on the same trike, but he's always got some sort of different. Like today he's got a summer picnic basket, right? With what is that? A daisy and some watermelon.
Yeah, it's still a bicycle, you idiot. It's a bicycle, not a tricycle. It's not 3 wheels.
I mean, technically, you can't tell if there's another wheel back there or not.
No, I can tell.
You're right. I mean, this isn't the best game we've ever seen. It's certainly not as high as last week's, but it's like a 6.2.
You see a 6.2?
Yeah.
This is the penny farthing.
Wow, you know what I didn't even realize?
This bike, penny parth.
The
penny
very
farthing.
top of it is watermelon rind.
What?
You see that?
Yeah.
And the can's
Yeah,
pink.
at the very
That
top.
kind of gives good bonus points. I'm going up to 6.4 because of it.
6.4. I got numlock on, dog. Get that off. I don't, dude. It's another Hampline can. These just aren't great. I mean, maybe the color scheme on this one's a little bit better because we do have the watermelon. I think watermelon's well represented. The one thing that I think is missing here is the peach, which I actually tasted more peach in this beer than I did watermelon. Is that weird?
Yeah, I got no watermelon out of this.
I'm not gonna say I didn't get any, but I definitely got more peach. And I think the only peach representation is this light pink and like obviously the 3 peaches that you see here. I'm deducting points, honestly. And maybe that's nitpicking, but honestly,
Are those peaches? I thought those were onions. They kind of
Don't ever
look the
call me
same.
Sammy Sosa again.
They look the same shade as Sammy.
That's actually not too far off.
Sammy skin tone peaches.
I don't know. Like a 5.9. I'll say a 5.9
and 6.4. Okay, before we rate the beer, how long would either one of you last on Naked and Afraid?
I wouldn't
5
go on Naked.
minutes?
I wouldn't go on Naked or Afraid.
You just said 5 minutes. Kenny says he turns down the opportunity to be on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, I
was
wouldn't
just
go
curious.
on it if that's an option.
The NBA Finals game.
Your
ended
bite on
now.
your ding ding, dude. You kidding me?
I mean, this is
Ow.
a ridiculous television program. Naked and Afraid is. Kenny, you're forced to go on Naked and Afraid and try to last as long as you can. How
Spend
far
my
you
life.
Are you making it through one night? Does it
No.
depend on the location?
It shouldn't.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm not asking
I'm
you
a,
if you
I'm a
would do it or
grown ass
not.
man. You can't make me do it.
I'm a grown ass Sammy Sosa.
Like, hear me out. When's the
You just
last
said
time
5
either
minutes.
one of you? When's the last time either one of you wiped your butt? And this is personal, obviously.
Jesus
It's just us
Christ.
three.
I mean,
No
what
one
are
else.
you
You've
what-
wiped your butt with something
You're gonna
other
have
than
to. You're gonna have to take a dump within 5 minutes of being out there naked and afraid.
Yes, probably. Trey, I'm extremely regular. I eat a
You
lot
don't-
of yogurt.
You don't get traveler's constipation or whatever.
No. Far from it. I actually just opened
I
the
think in this
floodgates.
scenario, there's you're not taking a dump in the first 3 days if you're on Naked and Afraid for sure.
That's not true. You don't understand. Regardless, that's beside the point. Have you ever had to wipe your butt with something other than toilet paper? The answer is probably no. But they are going to be using banana leaves.
What
Probably
if
with
it's poison
ants on
ivy?
them.
What if
I'm
it's
not-
poison? What if
Poison
you
ivy.
accidentally pick a poison ivy leaf?
These are things you have to think about. What if, you've seen Jungle to Jungle? What was that thing that swims into your pinto? You know what I'm talking about?
I used to
If-
watch
if you
River
know.
Monsters. I was a big Discovery Channel guy. There's that little catfish that can swim up your TT hole.
Exactly.
Wow, we are so. I mean, we're going to get ripped in the comments by that one guy because we're talking about the most random stuff ever. All right, get on this
Fine, we're at
beer.
the end of the show.
Just
I
go
already
say.
got on.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, then you deserve to listen to our catfish PP hole comments. Can you imagine that being in the Amazon River and a catfish, like a little tiny catfish swimming up your pee hole?
No, I'm talking about mosquitoes.
Talk about
dude.
being
I'm not
able to
even worried
swim
about the
upstream.
Catfish. Not worried about that. I'll tell you what. I would. This
so you guys know,
I don't.
In this
I don't
current
like
episode, this guy he's literally setting the entire forest on fire.
Would not recommend it.
I mean, legitimately, he tried to start a fire, and now everything is burning to the ground.
Hard pass.
Oh, never mind. It's some kind of
challenge. Think about this.
I'm an idiot.
This beer, Trey.
Initially, it wasn't quite what I was anticipating and hoping it would be, but it grew on me as we went through it. The first couple of sips, which I feel like that's always what happens with these sours, is it's like it's too sour. You know, they're real sour forward. You get all the sour at the beginning, and then you kind of get accustomed to it, you get used to it. It's not my favorite sour we've had. I think we've had another. How do you say this? A Goza.
Yeah.
It's not. We've had one before, and I can't remember what the other one was, but I feel like I liked it better. It might have been a strawberry one, that's probably why I liked it better, because you started having an allergic reaction while we had it.
Wow.
And so it made it like the experience was better.
Oh God. Funniest episode of Tigers Untapped ever. Oh,
I mean, this is probably like a 6.6.
Oh. Okay.
I think I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more immediately following the grass cutting session, but there was like kind of 90-minute, 2-hour window in between those. So I'd showered, I'd cooled down, you know what I mean? Straight hot in off a fresh cut, I'd probably have rated this higher.
That's fair. I give you that.
It's not bad.
Look, I don't like sours. I don't like Goza. What do you want to say? I don't normally care for them. This one honestly wasn't that bad. I'd say it's like a 6.4. I definitely wouldn't drink 2 of them. But if someone's like, hey, I have free beer in the fridge if you want to grab one, and I pick this out, I'd be like, do you have a koozie so I can cover it up so no one knows what I'm drinking? Because again, it is a watermelon peach Goza, but honestly not bad.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, it's not. Especially if you're out there disc golfing, you know?
100%. Did you guys know that Helen Keller had a dollhouse in her backyard?
No.
Neither did she. I knew that was going. All right. For this week's episode,
man, we're gonna get canceled. I love that we're about to get canceled.
Love it. Tune in next week. Come with your dad joke, a cold beer, and stay for the hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page.